Cancer. My name is Alison and you're with Healing Dove Tarot. Today we're going to have a look at the love energy surrounding you for the week beginning the 12th of August until the 18th. Cancer, a little bit of an update. I have recently ran a competition and asked you guys what you wanted to see from me in terms of readings, like how frequently. One of the big things that came out almost in every response was weekly or daily. So I'm now going to be doing weekly love readings. Yay! Every Sunday. I'll upload them in Aussie time. So I think for most of my readers that are overseas and in the States, that'll be your Saturday just before you come into Sunday. So it'll be giving you insight into the week ahead. I'm also going to pre-shuffle the cards, call upon the energies off camera so that I can try and make these readings more succinct and faster for you, straight to the point. Okay. So with that, let's get started. You have a really interesting reading, Cancer, which is no surprise because your one last month was really interesting as well. I think it was, the last couple of weeks, it was about third party and unexpected pregnancy. Now, there's two very clear different messages I see here on the board, so I'm going to read it as I see it, as I always do, but take what you need and what you will. At the bottom of the deck, you do have the Six of Cups. Okay, so the Six of Cups is my soulmate card. It speaks about that really pure, innocent love. It's normally, it can talk about someone from your past coming back, but I don't see that with the other cards that you have in the deck. It's more about the connection that you have with someone else, and the way they make you feel is this kind of giddy, high school kind of love type thing. You know, that love sick puppy dog eyes kind of stuff. This is it. That's the energy you're coming into the week with. So literally Sunday the 12th going through. Now, Cancer, it's coupled with the Eight of Swords and the Ten of Swords. Now, for me, you're beginning the week feeling this feeling of being trapped. Now, when it comes to love, for those of you that are coupled, and I'm going to just tell you as I see it, it's like your partner's suffocating you. They're giving you the shits pretty much, and you're just kind of over it. You feel like you're trapped. You feel like you've got the weight bearing on your shoulders, and it's not just love. It's this is mental energy, right? So this talks about literally stressing over things that you can't control. And, you know, I have a lot of Cancers in my life and I love you all dearly, but sometimes you are little worrywarts and you stress about things that you don't need to. Okay. And the message here quite clearly is, please catch yourself. If you're stressing over something in the moment, catch yourself and go, do I really need to worry about that? Can I control it? Is it within my control? If it is, then what can I do to change it? If it's not, then just let it go. Okay, it's all going to work out in the end. It'll all wash out in the end. And I think far often we have the big things that cause us stress that should take our energy, not the little things. Okay. Now, in love, Cancer, I'm going to call it as I see it. For some of you that are in committed partnerships, I know I saw a third party last time. I see that third party again. Okay. We have the Three of Swords. This represents for me heartbreak. It's never a nice message to come up in tarot and to call it as I see it coming up on the page. But for some of you, you are in a happy and committed relationship. This is the Ten of Cups. Look at these two little lovebirds with the rainbow in the background. They're married, they're committed, they're snuggled into each other. And then you have the Three of Swords. Birds again, literally the swords through their heart, and the third party coming through the middle. For some of you, the reason why you're stressing is because you believe your partner is cheating. And I see that clearly on the board. If you have that gut feeling, then I'm seeing that in this reading. And, you know, it is a general reading. So if you have a specific situation that you would like to have more detail on, I'm more than happy to have a look at that for you. Just keep this in mind, it is general. But for some of you out there, you've had this feeling that your partner is straying or betraying, and I'm confirming that this is the case. You have the Ten of Cups coupled with the Ten of Wands. So it's almost like you go from the beginning of the week, that Eight of Swords and that Ten of Swords, that mental energy about stressing and worrying about things, work, love, money, the whole shebang. Sorry, I can't speak today. And then you have this reconnection with your partner, but they're just draining you of your energy. And the reason why they're draining you is because you're not connected right now. I really see it as being like this, polar opposites, right? You're not together as one. You're literally here. And Cancer, this is what the message I was saying to you before for those that are in couples. If you can't control it and it's completely out of your hands, then let it go. Okay, let it take its own course. If you do have a feeling like your partner is cheating and there's a third party, my advice to you right now, and I think I said this to you in the last meeting, I can't remember, you need to just sit back and chill. Okay, I know, and you're probably going, Ali, how the hell do I do that when this is the gut feeling that I'm getting? But we are currently still in Mercury retrograde, okay, until the 16th. And that means that whenever Mercury goes retrograde as a planet, it doesn't actually mean it moves backwards. It just looks like it does in the sky. It's a astronomical phenomenon, blah, blah, blah. But it's like this appearance that it's moving backwards, but it's not. It's still sitting there. It's just changing the way the energy is on its axis, right? But what that does to us is it creates this effect of going back and re-looking at things. So your partner right now, they may not have acted on this. They may be considering it because your relationship's been struggling. So that's why I'm saying don't act just yet, but be aware that I am seeing a third party coming up again, and I have been seeing that for a couple of weeks. Now, another thing I want to point out to you, Cancer, is I've never seen this lay up on a board like that. You have 3 10s in a freaking row. Look at this. 10 of Swords, 10 of Cups, 10 of Wands. Like, that is insane. 10s represent the end of a cycle, okay? So they are literally all about going from the beginning to the end. And for me, this couldn't be any more prevalent when it comes to doing your reading. You've gone through a lot this year, Cancer. The energies around you have been more than challenging. And, you know, unfortunately, it's just been that chunk of time that have really pushed you to your limit when it comes to love and intimacy. Now, Swords represent thoughts, Cup represents emotions, Wands represent passion, and you're at your wit's end with all of it. The beauty of this is that you're coming out of that cycle, okay? 10s represent completion, and you have them stacked up in a row all in 1 week. This is going to be a really powerful week for you, whether you're single or coupled, okay? If you're single, you are ending the cycle of being single. It's finally your time. If you are coupled, you are ending this cycle of negativity. And I do see that you're going to get the clarity that you need. You have the Knight of Swords coupled with the Page of Swords. So it's like as if your partner comes in, if you're coupled, and finally gives you the message that you need to know that either, I'm sorry, this isn't working for me, I've met someone else and I'm going to move on. Or I need to let you know, honey, I've been thinking about sleeping with someone else. We need to talk about this because I'm disconnected. Or I just want to let you know how much I love you because I have been a bit in my own head at the moment and I'm reconnected. It's going to go one of 3 ways, literally those 3 that I suggested. So it might be worth watching this back again. But by the end of this period, you're going to have the clarity that you need to make a decision about how you're moving forward, okay? And for those of you that it's not a partner that's a third party, this is literally about you reaching the end of a cycle in your relationship, okay? And there's been some trauma, there's been some heartbreak, there's either been a health issue, or I think I picked up an unexpected pregnancy that was in the last reading, like you didn't know it coming. And unfortunately for some of you, I don't think you were able to keep the child. All of that energy has ended, okay? And it's coming to an end and you're finally coming into a new. Now, back to those that are completely single. You are at the very beginning of this week going to connect and have a date with someone that could potentially be a soulmate. Now, this person could be an earth sign, Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn, or a fellow air sign, so Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius. This person could very well be marriage material. Okay, I see that quite clearly. There's the 10 of Cups that's come up, and you're going to be communicating with them a lot, okay? And they very well could be the one for you that is single, for the Cancer singles out there, and you'll know because you've been single for a while. They could be the one that actually end that cycle for you after this week, and you're going to get the clarity that you need to know that, yep, this could be the one. Wow, there's a lot going on for my crabbies. Bloody hell. All right, so let's draw an additional guidance card for singles. Please show me what are the messages for single Cancerians. What do they need to know about this connection? Please show me. For those that are single and you're ending the cycle of being single, it's I see it being really beautiful, stable. It's going to take a long time to develop, but you're okay with that. You're in no rush. You want something concrete, and I feel like this person's going to give it to you. There we go. Challenging times. Okay. And I'm just going to draw one for couples. Please show me, what are the messages for couples? Yeah. Okay. All right. Singles. You have Five of Wands, which normally speaks about conflict, challenges, competition. Okay. So it could be that the person that you're dating that you see as being wifey or husband material is has many options, but I'll read it for you as I see it. Okay. You ready? Keywords: ego, conflict, challenges, and competition. And it says, human ego can be helpful when it provides us with a sense of self, value, and purpose. However, the ego can also lead to problems when it seeks to build itself up to the expense of others. Quarrelsome energies may be in the air at this time. You may find yourself either instigating disagreements or being pulled into them by others. Step back and examine the real issues behind the conflict. You may find it's more about being right than it is about what is actually right. You may also find a relationship to be more challenging than usual, sensing an underlying power struggle, even though surface energies appear to be calm. Use your intuition and intellect to ascertain what's happening. While competition can be stimulating, it's disruptive to a relationship. You can avoid this by thinking before you speak or act, and by coming from a place of honesty and love. Okay, so for my single Cancerians, it's talking very much there about, I said to you in the beginning, it's going to take its time, right? And you're going to feel like you're going to think that this person is the world and really want to connect with them. Just give it time. Try not to rush the process. All right? Couples. You have never-ending story. Couples, I'm sorry. I'm just the messenger, all right? Don't shoot me. Self-criticism, the wounded ego, unnecessary dramas. Ego again. All right, you ready? Sometimes your heart enters into a contract with another that results in pain, not because of abuse or neglect, but for other more complex reasons. Shame, fear of intimacy, and low self-esteem are the greatest challenges to the success of a relationship. Consider how valuable this knowledge is, however. Right now you have the opportunity for an important healing, but you must reflect on the stories you weave about love, connection, abandonment, rejection, and loneliness. Not only do you need to begin a new story, you need to forgive yourself for telling yourself the old ones. Have compassion for the part of you that believes all of those narratives. None of them were ever true anyway. Okay, so Cancer, this really speaks about the negative self-talk that we say to ourselves a lot. We've just had the supermoon, new moon in Leo, and it's exactly about that, about changing that narrative and being positive and kind to ourselves. Far too often we're our own worst critics, and what that can do to our psyche, our energy, and everyone else around us is make us believe things that aren't true. Okay, so if you are feeling disconnected, if you are feeling hurt by your partner, try not to keep it all in and just stew on it. It's really important that you communicate how you're feeling, okay? And you will know the right time. Otherwise, you're going to be stuck in this never-ending story of feeling trapped. Okay. All right, Cancer, I do hope you found this reading helpful. If you did, please like, share, and subscribe. It's really important for the channel and me doing these videos. I wish you love and light. Take care.